Hi, everybody. Welcome. There are a lot of places you could be right now, and you're here. That is so fantastic. Are you ready? You have any idea what I just asked you? Do you know what I'm asking if you're ready for? Because how many of you have heard me speak before? Yay! Way to go, team front row. And for everybody else, I'm very sorry. I'm kind of a lot, and I have really big energy. When I'm teaching all-day designation courses, people love that, and they're grateful for that because they know that they're going to get the same energy at 3 o'clock that they got at 9 o'clock. But for those of you who have never met me, that can kind of feel like a lot. So, unlocking the secrets of the Code of Ethics. Are you ready? Are you ready to have fun and look at the Code of Ethics like you've never looked at it before? Yes, and for all of our friends at home, we hope that you are ready for some serious, serious fun. "17 seconds of fun. Now you have an idea of my energy, yes? Awesome. All right, so let's do this. Welcome, and I'm so excited that you are here. This is typically a 3-hour course that we've condensed down into an hour. So I'm going to try not to fire hose you too much, but I really want to make sure that you get everything that you came for. And if somehow, some way I don't deliver what you came for, I want to make sure and give you my cell phone number, my email address, so that you can reach out to me and say, okay, yeah, but what about this? And of course, isn't that fun? Let's see. And can we get my slide deck back up there? I want to make sure they can see this. Thank you so much, AV team. They're so awesome. And sometimes things don't look the way they're supposed to. I am a committed realtor, committed real estate educator. I've been in the industry since 1999. I am an associate broker in the state of Utah, originally from California. I am the CEO and Chief Energy Officer of a national global speaking company, Dynamite Productions, and I have authored 3 books. I currently have the amazing opportunity to serve as the president of the National Speakers Association Mountain West chapter, where I get to love and coach and support other speakers at every level. And currently an associate broker and president of Spark Agent Success System. So just to give you a little bit of background, huge, huge Disney fanatic. How many of you have taken the chance to go to Disney since you've been here? How many of you are going to? Yay, a couple of you. How many of you wanted to, but you couldn't because of the hurricane? Yeah, I was there kind of technically during the hurricane. So sometimes we experience hurricanes a little bit, metaphorically in real estate, yes? Yeah, sometimes. And the Code of Ethics, interesting thing. What are your thoughts about the Code of Ethics? Do you love it? Yes, a lot of people don't embrace it. Ooh, I love that. Tell me more about that. Can you share a little bit more about that? There's a microphone up here if you want to say that, or you can stay in your seat wherever you're comfortable. Why do you think more agents don't embrace the code? Oh, they want to do business the way they want to do business? Yeah, that's not too great. I remember being a kid and thinking that my way was so much better than my parents', my grandparents' way, and yeah, did they actually know a little something? Probably. How many of you had the opportunity to be at Kenny Parcells' inaugural last night? Was that not amazing? Amazing, amazing. I have been blessed to know Kenny for more than 30 years, and he is the real deal. He is an incredible human being. We are so blessed to have him as part of our organization and now leading our organization. And I'll talk more about him tomorrow when I talk about leadership Disney style. We're going to talk about Walt Disney, and we're going to talk about Kenny Parcells. But he talked about writing with the brand. And part of the brand is embracing and loving and knowing the Code of Ethics. I remember years ago, after being a new realtor, taking my mandatory Code of Ethics class when I joined the board, and it was like, wow, take me to the airport so I can watch things fly over my head. Anybody ever felt that way? Okay, but fast forward, now I'm a broker, now I'm writing courses, now I'm teaching all over the country, but I joined a new board because of my position with my brokerage. And I kid you not, I walked into the room, I sat down, plopped all my stuff, got comfortable for the 3-hour Code of Ethics course, and the instructor, bless his heart, very tall individual, came in wearing jeans, a belt buckle kind of like the ones that we were gifted last night, cowboy boots. Again, nothing wrong with that. I considered wearing mine today, but he sat on the table with his long legs in his jeans, in these cowboy boots, with the Code of Ethics in his hand. And he said, okay, we're going to start on this side of the room, and we'll start with you. Will you start reading the preamble, and then we're just going to go around. And I thought, oh, my stars. I would rather shave my legs with a cheese grater than sit here for another second. I'm not going to survive this 3-hour course if we are going to sit here. I could have done that from home. So I decided, as a broker, as an educator, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a more fun way to do this, to approach this, to look at this so that we can experience the code in a different way and live it in a different way. So our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to look at the Code of Ethics in a whole new way. Who's ready for that? Yay! Oh, you're in the right place. And I'm probably doing this wrong. I have a PhD when it comes to technology, which stands for Press Here Dummy, unless I'm live and on Zoom. And then it stands for Press Hard Dummy or other non-Disney rated words, which we won't say because we're here at Disney and being filmed. My company is here, it exists to help serve real estate professionals who want to increase their expertise through education so they can explode their income without burnout, betrayal, or bankruptcy, or without being sued. And we're not going to talk about being sued today because I've been on both ends of that. I have been sued by a family member. That makes Thanksgiving super fun, let me just tell you. My husband's sister, because I know you're like, I wonder who sued her. Yeah, you were asking, I could see it in your eyes, right? And now, I also do expert witness testimony. And so I see all sides of it. I see both sides of it. And that I hate doing expert witness testimony, but what it does is it allows me to be able to see things from that point of view so that I can help educate real estate professionals. From the pre-licensing side, I have created multiple pre-licensing schools, and I'm in the middle of doing one right now, and all the way through to post-licensing and designations and certifications. I love lighting the fire of learning for real estate professionals because ultimately that is what is going to allow you to go out and serve your clients better and to serve them at a higher level. There are 3 individuals, 3 entities that help me serve my clients at a higher level, and I would not be here without them. Last year, they were here at NAR with me. Castle and Cook Mortgage. This is Jesse Van Wagener, my fabulous friend, and some of you might have met him. They had a booth last year, and we did a book signing, and it was super fun. He helps me keep it real. He helps me keep it fun. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little rhinestone castle in the middle of those ears, and I will be wearing ears tomorrow when I'm talking about Disney Magic, so you have that to look forward to. They are one of my national sponsors. Raconto is another one of my national sponsors. They are a fabulous company that allows us to create get video testimonials. Absolutely phenomenal technology. And my new Dynamite sponsor, Gifts with an Edge, Tara with Cutco. Anybody know Tara with Cutco? She's amazing. Yesterday I spoke for Women's Council and she got a huge woohoo. So yeah, we want to make sure and give them a shout out. Here's what we're going to do today. We are going to do an in-depth look at the Code of Ethics like you've never looked at it before. We're going to gain some insights. We're going to learn together, and we're going to have fun. Who's ready to have fun? Yes, I love it. What we're not going to do, we're not going to be bored. We're not going to sleep. We're not going to review the code. I am not going to sit in cowboy boots or glittery shoes on a table and say, all right, we're going to start with you, and we're going to, no. This presupposes a knowledge of the Code of Ethics, and you're not going to have time to look anything up. So we're going to see how much we already know. We are not going to discuss arbitration or mediation, filing or defending complaints. We're not going to talk about disputes, and we're not going to talk about procuring cause. But if you want to talk to me about any of those things, again, I'm going to give you my number, I'm going to give you my email address, and anything I can do to support you. Obviously, I am not in your marketplace, I am not your broker, but I'm also here to help and serve you. Would you agree that there are things about the Code of Ethics that we don't necessarily know? Yeah? You think so? Why do we not know what's in there? Because the way it's taught is somebody sitting on a table, right? We don't really dive into it. We don't really know. And have you ever in your life made a mistake? Have you ever done something you didn't mean to do, and if you had known better, you would have done better? I certainly have. So, reality check ahead. We are going to hopefully learn some things. And what I want for you, what I hope for you, is that we can learn to celebrate learning. We can absolutely get excited about maybe getting something wrong so that we can walk out of here with a greater heightened sense of what we didn't know when we came in. Is that okay? Turn to the person next to you and say, it's okay to learn. It's okay to learn. We want to unlock the secrets of the code. Why do we need to know this? What are the consequences for us not really truly deeply understanding the code of ethics? What could happen? I already mentioned one. It happened to me. You could get sued. We don't want that. What are some other consequences for not understanding the code of ethics? Fines, letters that are scary. We don't want to get kicked out of our board. We don't want to wind up in front of a committee of our peers who are going to maybe bring witnesses and testify against us. Like, who thinks that sounds like fun? Ooh, I'd rather gargle glass. That does not sound like any fun at all. So we're here to prevent that from happening. Ultimately, there are steep financial penalties, bad publicity, loss of reputation for us, for our brokerage, and bad news travels fast. I've been brought in to state associations to speak about the code of ethics when something an agent did wound up on the news. On the news. And so, yeah, we want to try to prevent that as much as we possibly can. I want you to ask yourself, do I know what I don't know? And of course we don't. I had an amazing choir director years ago who was infinitely more talented at singing and at reading music than I will ever be. And as a choir director, she would tell us in her practices, friends, make your mistakes loudly and make them in here so that when we go out and we're serving the public, we can hopefully do it a little better, right? We don't want to make our mistakes when we're out there. Awesome sauce. When I was new, I was terrified of what I didn't know. Anybody else ever feel that way? This is a scary business to get into initially. Started in 1999. That was a long time ago. I haven't aged a day since then. Just kidding. Yeah, now I have 13 grandchildren. And I remember thinking, how am I ever going to know what I don't know? How am I ever going to get good at this? And for me, it was education. It was going after and earning designations and certifications that allowed me to get the confidence that I needed so that I could get the competence to go out there and actually serve people. And I found that these two things are actually extremely interrelated. That the more I learn, the more valuable I am in the marketplace, and the more I'm able and willing to go out there and market and help people. And then, wow, now I've got the skill set, and now I'm able to do it again and again and again. As we enter into the game that we're about to play, I do want to lay one ground rule, and it's to help you understand what I lovingly refer to as the game of Foursquare. Yes, the playground game. How many of you remember playing this game as a kid? Right? What's the object of the game? We've got 4 squares, and we also have a ball, and there are going to be 4 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 in each square, and I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to bounce it in my square, and if you are over there, I'm going to bounce it to you. And what's the object of the game? Keep bouncing the ball inside the squares. What happens if the ball goes out of one of these lines? Ooh, the last person that touched the ball is out. And I loved this game as a kid. And then as a room mother for each of my 4 daughters, I loved playing this with their friends at recess. And I loved it. I thought it was really fun. And then after years of real estate education, I thought, we as real estate professionals play the game of Foursquare every single day of our professional lives. We just didn't maybe realize it, didn't frame it in that exact way. And it's a matter of naming each of the 4 squares. As we play the game, I want to make very, very clear what we're not doing. So first of all, let's name the squares. So let's start with square number 1. Square number 1 is state law. Square number 1 is state law. The situations and scenarios that I'm going to give you will pertain, in some instances, to state law. Square number 2 is federal law. There are some very important federal laws that affect us in the practice of real estate every single day. Federal Fair Housing Law, TRID, also including RESPA and Truth in Lending, antitrust, lead-based paint. There are a lot of federal laws. We could talk about those all day and it would be fun because I love that kind of thing. Square number 3 is the Code of Ethics. That is where we're playing today, is in this box, the Code of Ethics box. And the last box, box number 4, is office policy. Each and every one of us working for different brokerages, whether they're franchises or independent brokerages with 2 people or 2,000 people, each and every one of us have different office policies. So we're not talking about office policy today. We are playing only in the Code of Ethics box. So when we are talking about each of these scenarios, yeah, we could be talking about a dumpster fire. We could be talking about something that's okay. But not understanding the difference potentially is a dumpster fire. We want to make sure that we know and recognize each and every one of those things because they pertain to every single thing we do every single day. Now, in the time that we have together, I can't go through the Code of Ethics entirely other than to, let me go back one, brief history of the Code of Ethics. How long have we had the Code of Ethics? What year was the Code of Ethics born? Approximately. Year 1913, very good. And why was the Code of Ethics born? Why was it here? Realtors got together and wanted it. I love that. That is a great answer. Why did they want it? Accountability in the profession, because what was happening? Yes, there were a bunch of people selling real estate that were not realtors, and were they doing that with honesty and integrity and ethics? Not at all. How many of you have seen the movie The Music Man, or the play Music Man? Oh, kids, come on, handle that. It's amazing. What is the premise of that movie, that play? There was a band leader. He comes into town, and what is he selling? He is selling band uniforms and lessons, and are they real? They are not, but he is so charismatic and so believable that everybody in the town gets on board and believes it. That is exactly what was happening in real estate. If I could jump down without hurting myself, I would, and I could give each of you a deed and say, here's a deed for you, and 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 a deed for you. Guess what? Only one of those would be real. The rest of them would be fraudulent. How do you think that went over with people? Like a pregnant pole vaulter in a hurricane. Not well. Not well at all. And so realtors, wanting to do it better, wanting to represent people in an honest, ethical way, said, hold up. We don't want to be licensees. We want to be realtors. And distinguishing themselves, they came up with a Code of Ethics. There were only 2 other professions that had a Code of Ethics at that time. Who were they? Doctors, good job, and? Yes, attorneys. Doctors, attorneys, and us. So that is our brief history of the Code of Ethics. The structure, there is a preamble, which is absolutely gorgeous. If we had more time together, we would go through it. Under all is the land. There is so much that is gorgeous, and the language that they use, such intentional language, I'd love to invite you to take a look at that, like before you go home. 17 articles, 70 plus standards of practice, and over 130 case interpretations. Okay. Oh, talk to me about that. Why are there 130 case interpretations? Have you ever read something and somebody else reads it and they come up with something completely different? Yeah, so it's a matter of putting it into practice and figuring out, what does this actually mean and how do we live this? So in order to live it, we have to first know it. So let's play a game. let's have a little fun. So you're gonna need something to write with and on, or a device that will allow you to keep your own score. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play a game called Is This a Violation? And there are 20 questions, and you are going to indicate on your paper or in your note-taking app of your choice, number one, and then you will either say, yes, it is, Y for yes, or N for no. Now, remember what we're not doing. We are not playing, is this a violation of state law or federal law or office policy. We are only playing a game of, is this a violation of the Code of Ethics? The Code of Ethics only. So I want you to, the whole point of today's session is for us to get really, 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 really clear about the Code of Ethics. Yes? Awesome. Who's ready? And remember, what's the object of the game? To learn something. All right, so that being said, is this a violation of the Code of Ethics? Yes or no? Keep your own score. Number one. A listing agent refuses to submit an offer on a property he has listed because there is already an accepted offer on the property. Yes, that's a violation. No, it's not. You can talk about it amongst yourselves with the people closest to you if you feel so inclined, or you can just test yourself if you feel like you want to do that. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Okay, you ready for the next one? Okay, fabulous. Number two, an agent refuses to work with the buyer because the buyer is gay. Yes, that is a violation of the Code of Ethics, or no, it's not. Make sure you write it down, because we're going to add up all the scores at the end and see how we do and test our knowledge. Okay, you good? You ready? Awesome. Number three. A listing agent decides that a home he has listed is perfect for him and his family. He submits an offer on the property in his sister's name. Ooh, I heard an ooh. I like ooh, because I want us to think. I want us to go deeper. So yes, it is a violation, or no, it is not. And friends at home, I want you to make sure you're playing this too. So make sure you're writing down each of your answers, because we will go through them one at a time at the end, especially time permitting. All right, we ready for number four? Okay, here we go. Number four. A listing agent also represents a buyer on the same transaction and does not disclose this fact. Yes, it is a violation, or no, it's not. And remember, Code of Ethics only. Let you think about that a little bit. I feel like I'm mostly on this side, which is good because that's where our friends at home are. And that's where most of you are, so yay. Okay, are we good? Thumbs up? Are we ready to move on? Fantabulous. If we were playing this on Zoom, I'd have you go in the chat and answer each one, but we don't have that benefit. Sometimes, but I love being live. All right, here we go, number five. An agent fails to furnish a copy of the signed listing agreement to her seller. And for those of you who are just walking in, we're playing a game. We are playing, is this a violation of the Code of Ethics? So pull out a piece of paper and a pen or some other note-taking device, an app, or whatever is going to work for you. And so you can say, yes, it is a violation of the Code of Ethics, or no, it is not. All right, an agent fails to furnish a copy of the signed listing agreement to her seller. Are we good? We ready? You're on the record? All right, number six. A real estate broker decides not to hire a capable, qualified secretary because she is Chinese. Yes, that is a violation of the Code of Ethics, or no, it is not. What do you think? Write it down. All right. You ready for the next one? You ready? Okay, here we go. Number 7, after a listing agreement expires, an agent uses confidential information obtained during the listing period to benefit a buyer client who is interested in purchasing the property. Yes, that is a violation, or nah, that's not. I see the wheels turning in your heads. I love it. Okay, we good? You on the record? Team front row? Yeah? Sweet. All right, number 8. A buyer's agent fails to advise her client that the terms of her offer may not be treated as confidential by the listing agent. This is a tricky one. A buyer's agent fails to advise her client that the terms of her offer may not be treated as confidential by the listing agent. Yes, that is a violation of the Code of Ethics, or no, it's not. Are we having fun? I love this. I love this. Okay, number 9. We're almost halfway. A seller instructs his agent not to disclose the existence of multiple offers. When a buyer's agent inquires about multiple offers, the listing agent discloses that there are, in fact, multiple offers in order to obtain a highest and best offer for the seller. Yes, that is a violation of the Code of Ethics, or nope, it's not. What do you think? Yes, for it is. No, it's not. That was number 9. All right, number 10. We good? I forgot to check in with team front row here. All right. Number 10, in a hot seller's market. How many of you still have hot seller's markets? Yeah. Wow, nice. Where are you? New Jersey? Sweet. I will be at Triple Play. I'll see you next month. We'll go looking at properties. It'll be fun. In a hot seller's market, a listing agent withholds the existence of an accepted offer from a buyer's agent because the original buyer has to sell their home first before they can buy the home they have under contract. Yes, that is a violation of the Code of Ethics, or nope, it's not. What do you think? Write it down. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Ooh, I'm hearing discussion now. Turn up the heat. I love it. Okay, all right. On record, go on record, friends at home. All right, yes it is, no it's not. Here we go, number 11, even though team front row is still on it. I love this discussion. Number 11, an agent uses only white models in their print advertising. Yes, that is a violation of the Code of Ethics, or no, it's not. What do you think? Write it down. Usually I give out prizes for this, so it makes it a little more, heats it up a little bit. Maybe I'll have to do that. Oh, sorry, team front row. I can go back. We good? We're on record? All right, everybody on record? Yes? No? Friends at home? All right, here we go. Number 12. An agent lists his own home as a for sale by owner and does not disclose that he is an agent. Yes, that's a violation of the Code of Ethics, or no, it's not. What do you think? Write it down. Okay, number 13. An agent is approached by a neighbor who wants to sell his high-rise office building. The agent has never done a commercial transaction. Excited about the commission she will earn, she does not disclose that she has never done a transaction of this type before. Yes, that is a violation of the Code of Ethics, or no, it's not. This one usually gets lots and lots and lots of conversation when I give you the answer. Okay, yes or no, go on record. How are we doing? We good? Fantastic. Number 14, an agent is contacted by a buyer who would like to look at properties in a high-end area with which the agent is not familiar. He is excited about the commission he's going to earn on a multi-million-dollar home, and so he does not disclose the fact that he is unfamiliar with this geographic area. Yep, that's a violation of the Code of Ethics, or no, it's not. Write it down, yes or no. All right, we good? Yep. All right, 15, coming down the home stretch. In order to obtain more buyer leads, an agent advertises a home for sale at $300,000 in an online ad with the actual listed price is $350,000. Yep, it is a violation, or no, it's not. Write it down. We are coming down the home stretch. All right, 16, an agent's assistant creates an ad for a listing that prominently displays the team name, but does not display the name of the brokerage. Yep, that's a violation of the Code of Ethics, or no, it's not. Again, not state law. We see this a lot in many, many states, failure to disclose brokerage name. But is that a violation of the Code of Ethics? Yes or no? All right, team front row, we good? I see smiling and writing, so yeah, that's a good sign. Number 17, an agent has taken the 2-day accredited buyer representative ABR course, but has not completed the requirements to earn the designation. She indicates on her company website that yes, she has earned the ABR designation. Just out of curiosity, how many of you do hold the ABR designation? Very good for those of you who have earned it. Everybody else, there's a booth for that, and I will be there on Sunday. Love to see you. All right, so yes, that's a violation of the Code of Ethics, or no, it's not. Okay, indicate on your paper. Nicely done. All right, here we go. Only a couple more. 18. An agent is sick and tired of losing listings to the new discount brokerage in town. She goes onto Facebook and posts false comments about the brokerage. Yes, that is a violation of the Code of Ethics, or no, it's not. It's a good thing I remembered to put on my Apple Watch today so I can get all my steps. This is a very large convention center. I should have worn it last night when we got here. Walk to a different zip code to get to the inauguration. All right, are we good? Awesome. All right, 2 more. Number 19, an agent is at a holiday party and strikes up a conversation with a friend who has listed her home with another agent. The seller discloses she is very unhappy with the job her agent is doing for her. The agent encourages the seller to cancel her listing agreement and list with him instead. Yes, that is a violation of the Code of Ethics, or no, it's not. I see the wheels turning. Things are flying over here. All right. We good? Number 20, last one. An agent doesn't like the fact that the BAC, the buyer agent commission, is lower than she expected to be paid. She writes up an offer to purchase, asking the listing agent to modify her compensation. Last one. Yes, this is a violation of the Code of Ethics, or no, it is not. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? How'd we do? Let's see. We need some kind of a drum roll. First of all, add up all your scores. How many yeses? How many no's? Got it? Got it? Okay, now we need a drum roll. All right, what do we got? How many? How many yeses? 20? All of them? All of them yes, all of them no? Okay, you got 12? So one of them was a maybe, and then you decided it was a no. Okay, I love it. It's like pre-licensing school. When you go take the exam, trust your gut the first time, right? Okay, anything else besides 20 and 12? Anybody else got a different mixture? How about over here? What do we got? 16, 15, 20, 19. Okay, over here? 12? You ready? Now we need the drum roll louder. Every single one of them is a violation. So how many of you said, look, we got fist bumping going on over here, like, yeah, awesome. Every single one of them is a violation. But remember the object of the game of this whole class. What's the object of the game? To learn. So we celebrate that around here. So let's take a look. I want to make sure that you know exactly where to find each one of these things. So if you missed one, we celebrate you. Normally I bring my pom-poms. I was already at 65 pounds with my luggage, so I was not able to bring them on this trip. But we would be cheering typically in a normal classroom setting over the fact that you learned something. So make sure that you understand where to go to take a deeper look. And for anyone in the room, if you do have a question about any of them, please raise your hand and say, hold up, okay? Answer to number 1 is standard of practice 1-7. You will find the answer to number 1 in 1-7. So it just indicates that if there's already an accepted offer on the property, we still give that seller every single offer that comes in, written or verbal. Yes? Fantastic. And if you raise your hand and I don't see it, be really big and bold about it. Number 2, the answer to this one is Article 10. Article 10 of the Code of Ethics. I don't want you to learn and memorize all the articles. I'm not going to ask you to do something I haven't done myself. But I would love for you to know 3. Okay? I'd love you to know that Article 1 is all about take care of your client. And take care of your client above your own needs. Yeah? And Article 1 is the most often violated. Ooh. So unfortunately, we don't have the time to deeply go into that. Just recognize that. Article 10, so Article 1 is take care of your client. Article 10 is all about fair housing. And I can't say enough about fair housing. Every single person on this planet deserves your best service, your best treatment. And to deliver equal professional service is an important part of who we are as realtors. So license law may not require this, but as realtors, this is how we are. This is who we are. We love and care and serve absolutely everyone. So take a good look at Article 10, and we'll take another look at it together because it is an article that has changed a little bit over the last couple of years. The answer for number 3 is Article 4. We've got to provide a true picture of exactly what's happening in the transaction, and for the agent to be trying to purchase a property, putting it in his sister's name so that it's really fuzzy about who's actually buying the property is not a true picture, which is why that is not okay. Number 4, this shows up in 2 different places, but both of them are in Article 1. So SOP stands for standard of practice, and that means it's underneath an article. And Article 1 is take care of your client. Good job, our front row. Love ya. All right. Listing agent also represents a buyer on the same transaction and does not disclose this fact. This is actually also a violation of the law. So we talked about state law and federal law and the Code of Ethics. A lot of these intersect with state law and federal law, as does fair housing. So just make sure undisclosed dual agency, undisclosed limited agency is a crime. And in many states, it's punishable. The first time we do it, it is a misdemeanor, and the second time we do it, it is a felony. So we've got to make absolutely certain we know and understand our laws in our states about dual agency and what is allowed and what forms need to be signed by whom and when, and make sure that we deliver those with accuracy and do that with exactness. We call that comply or die. Number 5, an agent fails to furnish a copy of the signed listing agreement to her seller. That's in Article 9. And so just make absolutely certain. I just was involved in a case about this a week ago. I got a phone call. It's a very, very sad situation. Some individuals who English is not their primary language, they were trying to buy a piece of land directly from a licensee. First of all, the licensee did not provide a copy of the contract to the client. Second of all, he has been charging a ridiculously high interest rate that was not the original terms that were agreed to. This is getting escalated to the sheriff's department on Monday. as fraud. So we'll see how that turns out. Stay tuned till next year. Hopefully I'll have really good news. So just make sure that every single person in the transaction gets a copy of what they signed. We want that whether we're buying a couch or a car or a house or a timeshare, whatever it is we're buying, we want to make sure we get a copy of what we signed, make sure that we're providing that for our clients as well. Number 6 is Article 10 again. And the reason I put this one in there is so that we really truly understand this doesn't just affect how we treat our buyers and sellers, it also applies to our hiring practices. And so making certain that we love and care and take care of absolutely everyone, no matter what. Article 10 of the Code of Ethics is about fair housing. Good job, good job, good job. And we needed a change, and so a couple of years ago at the annual meetings, there was a change. And this is a really unique thing that they had the meeting at our NAR meetings in 2020, which were held virtually. That was fun. And it was implemented immediately. So let's go back to 2020 for a minute, and no, you don't have to put on a mask to get there. What was going on in November of 2020 and October of 2020? The election. Was that fun? No, it was not. And how many of you are so excited that Election Day is now over and you're not going to see all those terrible ads anymore? Yeah. Don't you wish I wish there was a button on my phone to say, I voted already, stop calling me. The day before I flew here, I got 35 phone calls from people trying to win my vote. Like, oh my gosh, my phone is so quiet now. I'm back to normal business. Like actually people that I really want to talk to and take care of. Going back to that period of time, this was created and implemented immediately. It was actually a little bit controversial among the members afterwards, but take it in the spirit in which it was intended. Realtors must not use harassing speech, hate speech, epithets, or slurs based on race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familial status, national origin, sexual orientation, or gender identity. Voted on, adopted, and implemented that day. This applies to everything. And I'm not just talking about your newsletters that you send out. I'm not just talking about emails that you send. I'm talking about the things that you like and post and comment on social media. This is how we get into trouble. And so just make really, really sure, because people can see. Obviously, they can see what you're posting. But what if you have a little bit too much to drink one night and you post something that you think is funny, and then you wake up and you realize that was not the smartest thing to say, and you take it down, but it was up for 5 hours? What is somebody, all they have to do is take a screenshot and submit it to professional standards. That's all they have to do. Don't post it. Ideally, don't post anything when you've had a little bit too much to drink. Also, don't write contracts. That's a class for another day. The Code of Ethics and social media absolutely intertwine, and I've taught multiple classes, 3-hour courses on this in terms of how do we navigate this, and how do we do it in an ethical and professional way? Because is this ethical or is this professional? No, and a lot of people tell me that they hate Facebook, and why do they tell me that they hate Facebook? Because of the politics, because of the negativity, because of the inappropriate jokes and all of that, and just the nasty ickiness of it all. Don't let that be you. People that I don't even know really well reach out to me and they say, thank you. Thank you for your positivity on social media. I like and I follow everything that you say every day first thing in the morning because I need that start to my day. And I thought, wow. And I'm really, really careful about what I post, and I'm really careful to not be political at all and not have any negativity, because it just, I mean, just the yuckiness of it all. We don't want to go there. As professionals, I want you to be the leader in your community. I want you to be that shining light to your clients, to your sphere, that they can look to as that trusted advisor in the real estate transaction, in the real estate world, especially as things are changing. I want you to rise up and not fall down, especially on the job, especially as it pertains to social media. The answer to number 7 is 1-9. So this is a tricky one, and if we had more time, I would definitely love to have a deeper conversation about this. Of our 6 fiduciary duties, confidentiality is the only one that does not die. It's the only one that sticks around and stays with us forever and ever and ever. So just be really careful about how you utilize any and all information that comes to you in that capacity. Number 8 is standard of practice 1-13-5. And this is another really fun, controversial one to talk about in the accredited buyer representative class, which I've been so privileged to be able to teach since 2010. I've been teaching that for more than a decade now, and I learn more every single time I teach it. I learn so much from my students that I absolutely love it. There were a couple of really good things that came out of 2020. I got a new granddaughter. Her name is Ellie, named after Ellie from Up. That was a huge, fabulous thing that came out of 2020. Another really amazing thing that came out of 2020 was my ability to expand and open my classroom to every single agent in every single state. And we now have agents from all over the country joining all of our Zoom courses. And now everything we do is hybrid so that we can offer designation and certification courses, even internationally. We have students from Canada and from Puerto Rico who attend courses because they don't come to their neck of the woods. And we want you to be able to have every single course that you want to elevate your professionalism through education, because frankly, that saved me. That saved me from myself. I was a danger to myself and others when I started. I'm not even kidding about that. So we've got to make sure that we understand that we educate our buyer clients that it is very likely that the terms of their offer are not going to be confidential unless they sign a confidentiality agreement ahead of time. And we see this a lot in my marketplace, in the Park City marketplace, where we have a lot of celebrities who purchase property there, and they don't want the media to know, they don't want, their in-laws to know, they don't want their ex to know, whatever reason they have. They don't want the playing field to not be level. How would you feel if you were the seller and you found out that Justin Bieber was wanting to buy your house? It jacks up the price, right? Which is a real estate story in and of itself, and we'll talk about that when we talk about Disney leadership tomorrow. Answer to number 9 is standard of practice 1-15. Who is responsible for how multiple offers get disclosed? The seller, the seller, the seller, the seller, the seller. Always, always, always the seller. And so looking through 1-15 carefully to understand those dynamics is so important. And again, I'm very happy to have that conversation after the fact if that's something you want to talk about more. I love having those conversations later. The answer to number 10 is standard of practice 3-6. So we don't withhold the existence of accepted offers, and that would be considered a contingency, and it absolutely still needs to move forward. Number 11 is under Article 10, which is about fair housing. Good job. And we definitely don't want to convey in any way, shape, or form that we discriminate. And that's not just white models. That applies to any group, race, color, religion, national origin, that we only display one. We want to be inclusive in absolutely everything that we do. Yes, oh, I love questions. Nice and loud. Yes, it is. So she asked, is it the word only that makes that a problem? And yes, it is the word only. Absolutely. Fabulous. Question? So she asked, what if you only send one postcard and it has a white family on it? If you only send out one postcard in your whole life, we need to have a different conversation about your marketing methods. But yeah. Yes, theoretically, yes. And so looking at it that way, but what is the object of the game? It is, what are we communicating to the public about who we are, what we represent, and how we take care of people? And take the At Home with Diversity course, because that is an amazing certification that allows us to understand the code of ethics dynamics, the marketing dynamics, and how to create a more inclusive brokerage. Yes? Oh, Oh boy, she asked the big question with the word intent. If we are accused of violating federal fair housing law, they don't give two farts in a stiff wind about our intent. And we are guilty until we are proven innocent. It is not covered by E&O, and it will cost you $50,000 to $350,000 to defend yourself out of pocket. I don't know about you, I don't have that kind of money sitting around. So it's a matter of putting ourselves out there in a way that is representative of who we are and what we represent, and that is inclusive. So there are ways to do that. There are ways to do it. Use it, yes. So I love iStock.com. It is a subscription-based service, but you do not have to purchase a subscription in order to purchase the credits to buy a picture that you then have the rights to. And they have a lot of beautiful diversity in those pictures, and I utilize those in all of my PowerPoint presentations. Because I want every student to know that I love you, I see you, I care about you, and you belong. You belong in my classroom, you belong in my brokerage if I'm the broker, and if I'm serving you as a client, I love you and I care about you. No, you could be a purple spotted zebra for all I care. I love you and I will take care of you anyway. And it's just a matter of how we're putting it out there. So yeah, I love these questions. I wish we had more time. Okay, the answer to Article 12. Love Article 12. The answer to number 12 is Article 4. So again, true picture. We want to make sure that we are putting out there true picture, and this one in most of our states is also a violation of state law and could be a problem with office policy as well. Number 13 is Article 11. So remember I said I want you to remember 3? Article 1 is take care of your clients and put their needs above your own. Article 10 is about fair housing. Good job. I want you to dream about this tonight, okay? And you'll have to text me and let me know how you do. Article 11 is about our competence, our ability to do the job and serve people with the knowledge and expertise that we currently have and not put them at risk. For example, and the reason this one is a violation and the reason the next one is a violation is also Article 11, Standard of Practice 11-1-3. It's about competence. My children had the best pediatrician on planet Earth, bar none. He was Mr. Rogers with a medical degree. He loved them, he took care of them, he took care of me throughout some really, really scary medical situations, especially with my second daughter. She had a very unusual seizure disorder. He was amazing. But when she was diagnosed with that seizure disorder, he flat out told me, I am not qualified to take care of her. I need to refer you to a neurologist who's got the competency and the skill to take care of her and prescribe the medication and the treatment that she needs so that you can have the best outcome. Isn't that what we want for our clients? We want the best outcome for them. And if we know that we're not the right person for the job because we lack the skill set or the geographical competence, which likely means we don't have access to that particular MLS, which likely means that our super key isn't even going to open the door, we've just got to be really careful about not putting our needs and the excitement over earning the commission above our clients' needs, which is why both of those were violations. 15. Answer to this one is 12-4. Yeah, we can't be advertising under terms that don't actually fit with what we agreed to with the client. 16 is 12-5. If we had more time, I would tell you a really scary story about this. Maybe I'll make a video about it and put it on my Dynamite Productions page so that I can share that story with you. This one is 12-13. If you have taken the 2-day course, but you have not quite crossed the finish line in earning it, we cannot say that we have earned it. And I've seen agents in my own office who have done this. They took it from me. And they were waiting for a specific elective, and therefore they didn't finish. And they put it up on the website, and when I caught it, actually when someone else caught it and brought it to my attention, I went to her and I said, ooh, Michelle, you've put on our Prudential page, remember Prudential? That was fun. You put it out there that you hold the ABR and you don't. And she said, I can't take it down. I'm getting 3 referrals a year from that. Right? Oh my gosh is right. I might have said something a little stronger, like, take it down or I'm reporting your biscuit, okay? So don't do that. Finish, 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 finish. Cross the finish line, then celebrate. We don't get the medal till we finish and cross the finish line. 18 is Article 15. We do not post false comments, say false things about anyone or their business model or any other agent. And so the question I usually get about this one is, what if it's true? That's a different conversation, okay? Number 19, this is Article 16 and Standard of Practice 16.6. Where's the problem with this one? The verbiage. You all caught it because you said that there were 20. What's the problem with this one? Say it louder. It's that last sentence. The agent, do people that we know and love hire people other than us? How dare they? What are they thinking? And then they come back to you and they say, I made a huge mistake. I should have hired you. And you're like, yeah, you think? Tried to tell you that? How do I get out of this? How do I cancel? And how do I hire you? The problem with that is the word encourages. Encourages. So we need to allow that to either run its course or allow the client to go the proper route, talk to the broker about the experience they're having, cancel appropriately, and then once they are no longer being represented, then they can hire you. And you can choose to say, I told you so or not. That would, I don't want you to rub it in too much. You want to make them happy and make them feel good, but you can say that to yourself or you can call me. I'm like, Number 20, last one. Standard of Practice 16.16. Is there a legal way for us to do this? Say yes. Yes. Who is the contract between? The contract is between the buyer and the seller. Where does your name appear there? Nowhere. Nowhere. Your name does not appear on there anywhere. So make sure that the reason that this is a violation is because of the way that it's written. And if we write it up so that we can get paid, that's a problem. But if we write it up on behalf of the buyer so that they can meet their contractual obligation to us, according to the personal contract, the services contract that they signed with us to hire us for our services, there is a legal way to do it. And many of your states have created an addendum allowing that to happen in a legal and contractually fabulous way. Talk to your broker. And some brokerages have this as well. Talk to your broker about whether or not you've got something like this or if your state forms committee has created something fabulous for that. The preamble. I referred to this at the beginning, but the preamble is so beautiful. One of the most fabulous realtors I've ever known in my lifetime was an amazing human being by the name of Thane Houston. Thane Houston was the principal broker of ERA Brokers Consolidated in St. George, Utah, and truly cared about not only how he showed up and how he behaved, but he really truly cared about the industry. He passed away last year, and I think about him a lot because he told me when he heard me teach this class for our brokerage that he printed out the preamble and had it put in big enough font that he could read it, and he stuck it up in his cubicle. How many of you remember cubicles? Those were fun days, right? He stuck it up in his cubicle every day when he was a new agent, and it meant so much to him that he had it framed and hung it up for the 35 years that he was a broker in the real estate industry. Allow those words to seep into your soul and allow them to really affect the way that you show up and the way that you care for people, the way that you serve on your local level, on your state level, and the way that you serve your clients. What is the golden rule? Some of us were taught this by a family member. Some of us were taught this by a pastor or a Sunday school teacher. What's the golden rule? It's actually in the Code of Ethics, so it's there. Yes, treat others the way that we would like to be treated. That is the golden rule. But what is the platinum rule? If we're going to kick it up a notch, yes, treat others the way they would like to be treated. And how are you going to know this? Ask them, be observant, ask questions, and really truly care enough. And frankly, for some of us, code me, slow down enough to be observant, to figure out what it is that client really, really wants and needs, to approach my business in a careful, methodical, loving way. So I ask you, so what? Now that we've learned all of this, what is going to be different for you? What is going to be different when you go back home, when you're in your office, when you're answering your phone 20 minutes from now? You've cracked the code, by the way. Turn to the person next to you and say, way to go! Yay! Way to go. We now know that we've cracked the code. And how many of you learned something new today? Yay! Awesome. If you haven't yet, or even if you have, I'd love to invite you to listen to my podcast. And free of charge, other than your most valuable asset, which is your time, I've created Magnifying Brilliance specifically for the real estate industry, with some of the most brilliant, incredible minds on planet Earth, people that I'm so blessed to know, and they will bless your life. It is ranked in the top 200 business podcasts and available on Apple, Spotify, and I am blessed by the incredible guests that I've been able to have. Surround yourself with people who are going to make you look great. Dang it, we don't have time for that. I wish we did, but you did it. You crossed the finish line. And if you do have questions, please, please, please reach out to me. I promised you I would give you my cell phone number and my email address. There it is. If you have questions, if you have thoughts, if you have what ifs, I would love to hear about them. If you have scenarios that I can help you with in any way, of course, I am not your broker, but I am here to serve you. Thank you so much for being here today, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for Creating Magic Leadership Disney Style. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later. Yay!